Like this show and want to make your own? Let me tell you about Anchor. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now you can even add any song from Spotify directly to your episode. The possibilities are endless for what you can create, whether it's music analysis, your own radio show, or something the world's never heard before. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, you're listening to Got Clutter, Get Organized, a podcast that focuses on helping you create space to attract more money, love, and happiness in your life. I am your host, Janet M. Taylor. I want to say hello if you're a regular listener and welcome if you're listening for the very first time. I hope you are having a great week. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, please leave a review so I can continue bringing you episodes each and every week. Well, in this episode, I'm excited because I am joined by fellow professional organizer Stacey Flood, and she's going to share some strategies on how we can spring clean our home offices. I will also be sharing my product suggestion, app repurpose, and my book suggestion for this week. And my question for you this week: do you need to spring clean your home office? When was the last time you spring cleaned your home office? And of course, I will be sharing my upcoming workshop on time management. Stay tuned. So if you did not know, 50% of businesses globally offer some capacity for remote work. And 4.7 million people were already working remotely from home before the COVID-19 pandemic hit, which is why I invited Stacey Flood, who wears two hats. She's a professional organizer and an HR professional. She loves helping people and making systems run and operate smoothly. Stacey says that her two jobs are a perfect marriage. She has two models, and they are everything has a space and a place, and don't work harder, work smarter. Stacey has always had an eye for order, and she likes things neat and tidy. She cannot function well in chaos and clutter, and it causes her not to be at her best. She finds it therapeutic to organize and declutter. What really makes her happy is showing others how simple it can be to organize and bring order to their space. So without further ado, I want you to get your pen, your paper, your tablet, and listen to my conversation with Stacey Flood and write down those strategies she shared on how we can spring clean our office. Well, listeners, I'm excited because, of course, it's spring, but I'm also excited because I have a fellow professional organizer here today to talk to us about spring cleaning our home office or our office. So hello, Stacey.
Hi.
So before we get started and talking about all the ways that we should and shouldn't pile stuff in our home office and the ways we should, what made you decide to become a professional organizer?
So it's a funny story. I was never that kid that your mom made you clean up your room. I've just been like a neat freak, as my best friend would say, forever. So I came to it organized already. And then I have some girlfriends from work that started having issues, with organizing stuff, whether it was at the office or at home. And I would just offer advice. And they started saying, well, you know what, Stacey, you should really look into helping people. Like, I would pay you to do this. And I was like, for real, girl? I'm thinking I'm just helping. And she was like, no, for real. I need your help. I'll pay you. And it kind of came from there. I was looking for supplemental income because I had some bills I wanted to take care of. And I said, okay, well, let me get a little side gig and see how it goes. And that's where Stacey's Organizing Solutions came from.
Wow. So, Stacey, and relates to the office and spring cleaning, what are some of the things that you find that seem to accumulate and just wind up in the home office that it really clutters it?
Right. So I would say first and foremost, papers, like papers, bills, invoices, that kind of stuff. That's the number one thing. And then I've been helping actually a family member with her home office, and she has a lot of knickknacks. So I would say knickknacks and mementos, well, my old coworker gave me this, and, that accumulates as well. So that would be the first thing I would say would be the knickknacks and paperwork.
And I remember those knickknacks, and I think sometimes you got to get to a point, especially when you kind of left the job 20 something years ago, you kind
Right.
of got to look at it and like, do I really truly need these little things that are taking up space and collecting dust? So,
And every
yeah.
conference that you go to, they give you a bag and a pen and a memo pad, all that
Mm,
accumulates.
mm. So what are some ways, as we do the spring cleaning of the home office, what are some things that we can do to really organize our home office space?
I really push my clients to establish filing systems, preferably electronic filing systems. If you have access to a scanner, you can get rid of a lot of those documents by creating first purge before you scan, purge stuff you're not going to need, and then scan those documents. I also encourage them. There's electronics has kind of saved our lives a little bit. So use that Google Calendar or that Outlook calendar, use those reminders, and that will kind of keep you on track. So take advantage of the electronic, help that we have. And I even use like little desk organizers to put my pens and pencils in, the little trays for your paper clips and stuff. You'd be surprised how just having little things like that really keeps you, because you want it to stay nice. So you're going to put stuff back. So it will, you like, once you get it going, you like how it looks. So that would be that's where I start.
Oh, just one quick question. You had mentioned the paperwork. What do you find is the reason behind a lot of people just not wanting to let go of some like old paperwork?
Scared, fear that the IRS is going to come back, or I may need to go back and find out when I paid that, things like that. They're just afraid, and it's like pulling teeth. But I try to work with them. Where can we meet in the middle? Where are you comfortable with getting rid of? And I'll let you keep this for a little bit, to kind of ease them into feeling comfortable.
That's good. And I love the way you said you just, really try to get them to do like the digital files using the
Mm-hmm.
scanner, specifically when you have a home office. And usually home offices don't have a lot of space anyway.
Exactly.
So that's a good idea as well.
Yep.
So Stacey, how do you stay organized? Because I know, you've got your clients, you got all other
Right.
kind of stuff going on. So how do you stay organized?
I really practice what I preach. So I live by my phone, my calendar pop-ups that remind me, my electronic files. So just another little side note about me, I'm in HR too. So everything's in a file. Everything, you always got to reference this and this law and that. So I have a bunch of electronic files, and I do purge them as well. But I really practice what I preach. My to-do list, I check off stuff. Each day there are things I want to accomplish, and I have them on my calendar, and I tick them off.
Hmm. And I just like the way you said, because you are in HR and you have a lot of documentation to,
Mm-hmm.
just maintain and reference, etc., and how
Yeah,
you've been able to do that without having all of that physical paperwork. So that's
exactly.
great. That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I share that with my clients too. Like, I know how it is to have to keep paperwork, but we can still manage it and function and have what we need without having the physical paper. Yeah.
So, Stacey, you've given my listeners a lot of strategies, a lot of tips, and also just a lot of reasons why they should let go. So, how
Mm-hmm.
can listeners get in contact with you?
So my email address, and do I give that to you now, or do I leave that with you? Okay, it's simple. It's long, but it's simple. It's Stacey's Organizing Solutions at gmail.com. And then, of course, on social media, it's the same thing. On Instagram, it's Stacey's Organizing Solutions. And my website is www.staceysorganizingsolutions.com. I tried to shorten it and use my acronym SOS, but that wasn't available. So, yeah.
And of course, listeners, I will have a direct link to Stacey's website on the show page so you can connect with her directly. So, Stacey, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with the listeners today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So what were your takeaways from my conversation with Stacey? I would love for you to share. And of course, you can always leave me a voicemail on this show page. So let's transition to Taylor's tip time. Number 1, create a system for incoming mail. Whether you do it by the door or if your entryway is the garage, but create some kind of system. Number 2, establish a shredding day. It could be once a month, it could be once a week, so that you can consistently have that paperwork moving out of your home. Number 3 is what Stacey talked about, going paperless. And you can do it gradually. Maybe you can just start with maybe your bank statements, because you can always download those and you can save them to a drive. Also, you can get your bills paperless and emailed notice to you. So start transitioning. Number 4, let go of documents and information you no longer need. Now, the IRS, of course, they have a publication to let you know how long you need to keep things, but also there are other documents out there on the internet, and all you have to do is type in how long do I keep documents, and you can find one that meets your needs as well as your family. And number 5, clear your desk at the end of the day, because it allows you, when you come into that workspace, to be more focused on what you have to do and not do a cleanup. So, have you been working on getting organized and feel overwhelmed? Are you challenged by managing your time between work, home, and your life? Do you want to organize your life? Let's talk so I can help. I work with clients to guide them from start to finish by providing them with details needed to clear the clutter and get organized without feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Go to my contact page, schedule a free 15-minute session, take the steps necessary to create the life you want, and start by doing it today. Click the link in the show page. And of course, for those of you who attended the workshop earlier this month, I've got one more workshop this month. So for those of you who didn't, you still have time to attend, and it is Mastering Your Time to Get Things Done. It's going to be on Wednesday, March 30th at 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will be sharing a lot of nuggets, but also the class size is small, so I can interact. We can interact with each other, and you can walk away with some strategies specifically for you in your life. I'm going to be talking about time wasters, understanding how not to overcommit, how to conquer procrastination, and more. So click the link in the show page for complete details and to register, so you can not only attend this workshop, but also become a part of my community on Clutch. And of course, I want to take a moment and thank you for following me on social media, for your likes, your retweets, for your sharing. I love it. Thank you so much. Please continue to follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, as well as Pinterest. And I have boards for the home office and the workspace, as well as paperwork on Pinterest. So check that out. And of course, you can continue to follow me on YouTube. And those of you who know that I actually post this podcast on YouTube, so you can listen to it as well. So if you're thinking of getting your life organized, don't get overwhelmed. Join the Facebook group Living Life Totally Organized. It is a community of women supporting each other on their journey to live a life that's totally organized. It's free, so join today. We are in the midst of our weekly challenges. I am just loving it. People are posting what they want to work on, and then of course I come on and just give them some strategies to guide them along the way. And Also, the other members support each other. It's a wonderful community of women, and also I am loving it because once a woman gets in the community, next thing you know, she's sharing it with her friends. You need to join. So thank you so much for doing that. Well, do you know what time it is? Are you getting your little jig, your dance? Are you getting ready? Because you know what? It is Toss It Tuesday time. And this week, I want you to clear the desk drawer. Yeah, let's get that clutter. Toss some stuff out of that desk drawer and get it more organized. My app suggestion for this week is, is that a lot of us are working remotely. We're working from home. So there's an app for home office music because you want some nice little music. Some of you have got different apps that you already use, but also this is an app specifically. Sometimes you need specific type of music because if you start playing your favorites, before you know it, you're dancing, in the middle of your home office. So you need something a little bit different. In my Amazon shop this week, I am suggesting the 3-pocket wall file folder, and it hangs on the wall. It's really great because you can put files in there, you can put magazines in there, you can put mail in there, but it's something visual where it allows you to have access to things. Also, it allows you to have your desk a little bit more clutter-free. And of course, repurpose. Think about using something in your home that maybe you love and repurposing in the office. We have all taken a mug that we really like to use it for hold our pencils. So there are so many different things. And also, you can reuse one of your old maple utensil holders that you use in the kitchen. You can actually use that in the drawer in your desk drawer. So think about that as well. My book selection for this week is 52 Powerful Success Strategies to Ignite Productivity. 52, that means you can read one each week and just kind of have all those productivity strategies throughout your year. So check that out. And my quote for you this week is, your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So think about that. When you think about putting something off for tomorrow, think about maybe it'll only take me less than 5 minutes, less than a minute to do it. So do it today. Well, of course, I want to thank you for listening. Be sure to share this podcast with your family or friends on your social media network. Again, let me know you enjoy listening to this podcast by leaving a review, and be sure to visit my website at janetmtaylor.com. And until next time, I want you to have a clutter-free day, but most of all, have an organized week. Organization is a quintessential element of a clutter-free life. Join me as we take this journey together. Along the way, we will find the necessary answers to your organizing dilemmas. My name is Janet M. Taylor, and you are listening to Got Clutter, Get Organized.